Hello Stampers and welcome to Laura's Stamp Pad. Today I just wanted to do a little quick tutorial on heat embossing. I have been heat embossing a little bit lately, and of course I always like to heat emboss whenever the holidays come around because I really like that silver and blue, or that gold and purple, or even gold and red. And so I thought I would do just a quick video tutorial showing you some basics on heat embossing. So a couple of the tools that you're going to need the heat tool here. So this is like a more powerful blow dryer, and the heat tool does have two settings, a 1 and a 2. When you're heat embossing, you'll want to use the 2. Whenever you're just wanting to speed something up on drying faster, then you can use the 1 setting. And then there's also your Versamark. This is a clear watermark sticky adhesive, or not adhesive, but ink. So if you stamp it, it just kind of gives a watermark look, so it's kind of clear looking, but it's very tacky. Like if you touch it, it's pretty tacky and everything to the touch. And so that is used to hold your embossing powder onto your image. You'll need embossing powder. You can pick any color that you want. Today I'm going to be using gold embossing powder. And then one of the other things that I like to use that's super handy is the embossing buddy. So this is like a little sack that has rosin on the inside. So it's kind of like that same stuff that you see gymnasts use on their hands to avoid any sort of slip or anything like that while they're doing their routines. So this is actually used, you'll just rub it all over your piece of paper. So I'm actually going to use a piece of Elegant Eggplant because I want you to be able to see a couple things a little bit better. So I think darker is better. So you're just gonna, like, I just kind of tap it down on there a little bit, and it just kind of spreads all over your piece of cardstock there, and it reduces any sort of static so that you don't have your embossing powder just sticking to parts of your cardstock and you're like, why is it sticking there? There's no Versamark there, but yet it's still there. So that's what that is, and you'll see it does kind of leave like a white powder, but that's okay. So I'm just going to tap off the excess. And then I'm going to take my image, and I'm just using a Happy Hello, which is from the Tin of Cards stamp set. So I figured then I can use this for any sort of upcoming card that I'm making. So I'm just going to ink that up in the Versamark and ink it up really well. You'll want to make sure that it's nice and sticky and inked up everywhere. Oh, it's inked up everywhere that it pulled off of my clear block. It is sticky ink, so you do have to make sure that you do that good. But we'll be okay here. There we go. Let's just ink it up one more time to make sure. And then now I'm just going to stamp that down just like I would a normal image, but you might want to make sure that you hold maybe an extra second. And it definitely, if you're using a larger image, make sure that you press in the middle because you don't want it to be only on the outside but not on the center. So now it's time to pour over the powder. Can you see that Happy Hello? Yeah, you can see it right there. See how it's just like a watermark look, just a little hint darker. So you can pour your powder over the top now and just make sure that it hits all of those surfaces where your image is. And then again, just tap off the excess and you can see there is your gold powder. So this Versamark actually is like a tacky ink that then will hold that powder. So now we have our gold powder on there, and I'm going to turn on the heat tool. But before I do, because I don't know how well you'll be able to hear me over it, I wanted to tell you a couple tricks. A lot of people tend to want to like go like this with it, and that's not really a good idea because you're just dispersing that hot air all over rather than sticking the hot air directly on it so that it will melt your powder. So what I always recommend is start on like a side or a corner depending on how big your image is. Once you start to see it melt, you'll see it start to crawl across, and that's when the magic truly happens. I love that part of heat embossing. So no waving, just sort of, you know, setting it there and then moving around oh so slowly until it's all completely melted. And then once you're done with that, you'll just set it aside so it can dry, and it just takes, you know, 15 to 30 seconds to cool and then set. So here we go. And now it's all done, and you can see that fabulous A Happy Hello that is in gold embossed onto your project. And I can't wait to use that. It's so beautiful and shiny, and it has that little raised up texture and everything. So love, love, love that. Of course, you do want to be careful that you're not burning your fingers. So when you're using a larger piece of cardstock, you know, you can always hold your hand like this. You can also take a bone folder and place it there to hold your cardstock down while it is blowing, since of course it is blowing air. So it does tend to sometimes push your cardstock across if you're not careful. So do be careful as it is hot air coming out of there. But I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial. Of course, I did this fabulous project, and so you can check that out on my blog today. I will have that posted there. And be sure to check out my blog for other great tutorials on lots of different things. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe if you're new, and I will see you next time. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.